Yeah. What's up, man? What's cracking, everybody? It's your EsseHomie back again with another reaction. We're gonna go to Chicago, the Latino side of Chicago this time. This one is called BackYard's gang arrest. I guess a lot of shit's been going. Well, Chicago's always been crazy, man. It's always been a lot of shooting, pew pew pews, and unaliving, and it's just crazy. But we all never mentioned the Latino side. It's always the Oblakians, the St. Louis, the you know what I'm saying, all that. But I haven't seen a lot of people do the Latino side of it, so I'm trying to get to that. I see they got a little village too, but we're gonna focus on the backyards. Uh, Before we get started, this is my backup channel. I'm trying to get at least. I'm already at 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get a 2. I don't post on my main account anymore since I don't get monetized because I got strikes on it for dumb shit. So I'm not even focused on it. I'm trying to focus on this one. So yeah, man, if you guys haven't subscribed to your boy's channel, subscribe, man. Let's get this channel up. Shit, what was I gonna say? Yeah, before we get started, you already know, grab your food, your drink, your smoke, whatever y'all like to do when y'all watch our videos and shit. Go ahead and get that ready, and then we'll come back and let's watch this shit together, man. Here's my intro. Don't go nowhere. Don't forget, subscribe to your boy's channel. All right, 2K subscribers. Let's get to it. All right, yeah, be right back. It's your ass. So this was backyards, the backyardians. I guess a lot of gang arrests going on out there, bro. So we gonna get to it. Let's see what's going on over there, man. Hope y'all subscribe to your boy's channel. Like I said, man, this is my secondary channel. I'm trying to get this one up there like my main channel, and yeah, let's get it.
City's Back of the Yards neighborhood. One person was there and 4 people wounded when gunfire rang out at 48th and Ada yesterday afternoon. Today, Superintendent David Brown pointed the finger at suspected gang leader Sergio Barron for the increase in violence.
In April, Melina's daughter, 9-year-old Ariana, was killed in a mass shooting.
She was everything to me.
See, that's a crazy part, man. That shit is crazy. It's just these dudes, they have these crazy switches, these AKs, these Dracos, and when they go do what they gotta do, man, they never hit the person that they're trying to get. It's always the innocent bystanders that get unalive. You know what I mean? A little kid, a 9-year-old, little kids are dying over just for them being little kids. Even they could be inside the house riding their bike and they get unalive because fucking people that don't know how to aim and they're trying to get somebody. It's fucking crazy, bro. Like, for real, man. I ain't even gonna say nothing else, bro. That's just, man, that was my little girl that got unalive, man. Woohoo, shit.
She was my little princess.
Rest in peace to her, man. Sorry to this man right here, brother.
How she's not here, like, that's so hard for me.
Now, a Chicago man has been charged with 1 count of first-degree and 10 counts of attempted.
He was there like nothing, like.
And they're like they don't care, bro.
He did, like, he was just there.
10-year-old Angel Gomez, a documented gang member, who's charged with 2 counts of attempted and 2 counts of aggravated battery with a firearm. Investigators say Gomez drove the van carrying the person who opened fire on the plainclothes tactical officers. You see that vehicle right there, using a military-style semi-automatic rifle.
Just learned Chicago police have charged a 17-year-old suspect in the shooting death of a 14-year-old girl back on June 2nd.
Chicago's Back of the Yards neighborhood, once the beating heart of the city's industrial might,
out there,
grew up in the shadows of the Union stockyards, a place where immigrant families carved out new lives amid the smoke, grit, and blood
the bystanders
of the
they get done
From
dirty,
the early
man.
1900s through the mid-century, it was a working
And they never
class
show any
stronghold
remorse, you know what I'm saying, until they get caught. They're like, oh, we're sorry, you know what I mean? Like, nah, dude.
And Lithuanian laborers who built communities block by block. But when the stockyards closed in 1971, jobs vanished, and the vacuum left behind gave rise to something darker. By the 1980s, the same tight alleys and brick flats that once echoed with factory whistles became battlegrounds for street gangs, first the Almighty Saints, then rivals like the 2-6, Latin Kings, Party People, and later Black Pea Stones, Four Corner Hustlers, and Satan Disciples. Generations of turf wars have marked this area, transforming it into one of the city's most persistent gang hot zones. Today, Back of the Yard stands at a crossroads, a place where neighborhood renewal and violent legacy coexist. From the mass shootings that have scarred families to the federal takedowns that reshaped gang hierarchies. Every arrest and every operation is part of the same ongoing struggle to reclaim the streets from the violence that has haunted them for decades.
Sergio Barron for the increase in violence. Brown says just days after Barron was released from federal custody in March, he was picked up by Chicago police on a weapons charge, but he was then let out on a $1,000 cash bond. In April, his brother and police say Barron has fueled the escalating gang war. Police are now calling for prosecutors to get Barron off the streets.
We are in conversations now with the U.S.
See that shit? They were shooting at somebody walking, but they hit nothing but the house.
Has fueled the escalating gang war. Police are now calling for prosecutors to get Barron off the street.
Nothing but the house getting hit. They don't know who was inside. They were just like, oh, this is where they live. Bam! They don't, no remorse. It could have been a newborn, 8-month-old, a couple years old, and women, you know what I'm saying? The target not even inside, or probably the wrong house. You know what I'm saying? They just don't care, bro, until they see the news and they're like, oh, yeah, that was us, yeah. And then they get caught. It wasn't me, man. It's not. You know what I'm saying? No remorse, bro. These automatics is no joke, bro. They can't, man.
We are in conversations now with the U.S. Attorney's Office as well as State's Attorney's Office on, number one, trying to figure out how can we revoke his bond, get him back. This high-ranking gang member that's driving this violence because of retaliation for his brother.
What happens like that too, bro?
Try to get him off the street.
20-year-old Mario Sanders is facing aggravated battery and resisting arrest charges. Police say that Sanders pushed an officer to the ground and punched another in the face. Police tell us a second man tried to stop officers from providing medical treatment for the shooting victims.
In March 2024, a deadly mass shooting rocked Chicago's Back of the Yards neighborhood, leaving one man dead and 4 others wounded in what police described as a violent feud between rival gangs. The attack occurred near 48th Street and Honore when multiple gunmen opened fire.
Why are they doing that shit to themselves, man? They don't even own nothing, dog. They don't even own anything on that block.
2 other victims,
they just live there.
And 18, were critically injured. Another pair, also 16 and 18, suffered gunshot wounds, but were listed in stable condition. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown attributed the surge in violence to an escalating gang war led by suspected gang leader Sergio Barron. According to Brown, Barron had only recently been released from federal custody and was rearrested by Chicago police on a weapons charge in March. He was released again on a $1,000 bond, a decision Brown publicly criticized, claiming that Barron's freedom had reignited retaliatory shootings following the demise of his brother just weeks later. Brown stated that the Chicago Police Department was in active discussions with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office to have Barron's bond revoked and return him to custody. During the chaotic aftermath of the shooting, police officers attempting to secure the scene were attacked by 2 alleged gang members. Mario Sanders was arrested and charged with aggravated battery and resisting arrest after allegedly pushing an officer to the ground and punching another in the face. Police said these confrontations underscored the level of hostility and lawlessness that has gripped parts of the Back of the Yards community.
A 17-year-old suspect in the shooting death of a 14-year-old.
You know what they should do, bro? I've been saying this for years, man. People like this that like to shoot people and do all this unaliving and rah, 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 get all of them motherfuckers, pick all their asses up, take them across the country where there's wars going on, and just drop them off and like, hey, you want to go shoot? You want to go and unalive somebody? Go here, do something, help the country out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of terrorizing your neighborhood and innocent people, go out there and you know, do what you gotta do at this war that's going on. And if you make it, you make it. You don't make it, you don't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Year-old girl back on June 2nd. That shooting happened on the 1700 block of West 48th Street. The victim was shot in the head. The suspect was taken into custody last night.
Back of the Yard shooting. Suspect charged in shooting death of 14-year-old girl. In early June 2024, a shooting in Chicago's back of the yards took the life of 14-year-old Savannah Quintero, a 7th grader who, according to police and community leaders, was caught in the crossfire of a neighborhood gang feud she wasn't part of. Around 6 p.m., near the 1700 block of West 48th Street, Savannah and her boyfriend had just left a corner store when 3 young males confronted them and asked if—
Damn, she was 14 already with a boyfriend? God damn. Her boyfriend was probably the target, huh? It's crazy.
About gang affiliation. After Savannah said she wasn't in a gang, the group chased her and opened fire. 2 rounds were fired by at least 1 gunman, and Savannah was struck in the head. She underwent emergency surgery at Comer Children's Hospital, but died days later. Investigators recovered surveillance video showing suspects fleeing and communicating.
That dude probably just mad because she wasn't trying to, she wasn't trying to get with him. He was probably trying to holler at her ass. But look like a pedophile type shit, yo. Oh, you know? All right. Fuck, how old you is? You want a date? No? All right.
Sources told officials the conflict likely involved rivalries between the long-entrenched Almighty Saints and a newer crew referred to locally as the Party People, which had been recruiting teens from nearby schools. Chicago police later announced the arrest of a 17-year-old, identified as the person who fired the gun, taken into custody in the 3700 block of West 59th Street, and charged in connection with the demise.
Good evening, Jim and Mike. Police say it's 1 down and 1 to go. Now that they've made 1 arrest, police are now looking for the shooter. The alleged driver, 18-year-old Angel Gomez, a documented gang member who's charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of aggravated battery.
Yo, my bad, bro. I know when you guys watch this, that big-ass power director sign right there, and it's annoying, but it's like $50 a month on that shit, and if I was making money off of YouTube, I would have got to take it off. But right now, I got to just deal with it until I know that I'm, you know what I mean, make some money out of this shit. Then I could, because all my money goes to bills, bros. But if I make any type of money off of YouTube, then I'll get that shit off. You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. Donations accepted, bro. This broke ass donations accepted. Yo, y'all see this? All this up here.
With a firearm. Investigators say Gomez drove the van carrying the person who opened fire on the plainclothes tactical officers. You see that vehicle right there, using a military-style semi-automatic rifle. Those 2 9th District officers were conducting a follow-up investigation near 43rd and Ashland in the back of the yards last week. Police say members of Gomez's gang opened up during questioning, leading them to Gomez.
In May 2017, a violent case of mistaken identity nearly claimed the lives of 2 Chicago police officers and reignited citywide outrage over gang violence targeting law enforcement. On May 2nd, officers from the Deering District were conducting surveillance in the area of Halstead Street and Archer.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I know I keep pausing it, but shit, it's my shit. You know what I'm saying? It's my shit. I give my opinion. But them officers, bro, I ain't gonna say they're all bad, but all the bad ones that fucked it up. So we don't, if cops get killed, man, hey, feel sorry for them, but we don't feel sorry for them. Because we all see the videos how cops treat people, you know what I'm saying? How they be unaliving motherfuckers for no reason, too. So, you know what I mean? No sympathy. I'm an asshole, I know.
Following reports of a gang-related shooting, the plainclothes officers, driving an unmarked black police van, were trailing a Nissan Murano and a red van believed to be involved in earlier gunfire.
Oh shit, that's why unmarked van following somebody? They thought they were getting followed? They thought they were rivals or shit?
For rivals, mobilized to intercept them. According to prosecutors, Angel Gomez was behind the wheel of a Chrysler Town and Country minivan when his accomplice opened the sliding side door and unleashed at least 25 rounds from a .223 caliber assault rifle toward the officer's van near 34th Street. The barrage struck both officers, one hit in the hip, arm, and flank, the other in the back before the police vehicle's gas tank was punctured by bullets, forcing it to stall. Despite their injuries, the officers returned fire through the windshield, hitting one of the minivan's tires. Gomez and his passenger abandoned the vehicle, stashing the rifle near nearby railroad tracks before fleeing on foot. The weapon was later recovered by police K-9 units. Gomez, identified through witnesses and surveillance evidence, was captured soon after and charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree deletion, aggravated battery with a firearm, and related weapons charges. Authorities say his accomplice, the gunman, remains at large. Prosecutors linked both men to the La Raza gang, which was feuding at the time with the Latin Saints and 2X gangs in the back of the yards area. The shooting,
back of the yards,
they
they playing, huh?
was a tragic byproduct of gang paranoia and false identification, as Gomez's crew mistook the...
Come on, bro. You're driving down the street and you're in the gang. You know you have ops everywhere, and you see a van behind you telling you, all blacked out, you're going to think they're rival gang members. So you going, you know what I'm saying, right back. You know what I'm saying? Can't be doing that shit. Cops can't be doing that shit. What did you think was going to happen?
Officer's unmarked van for that of rivals.
10 people were injured, including 3 other children and Molina's wife, who was shot in the back.
Nah, she's doing way better.
Molina says his nephews were just released from the hospital last week.
Both of them, I saw them yesterday. They're doing really good.
But his daughter's
really
gone,
better. But like the doctors say, their life is not going to be normal ever.
Now, a Chicago man has been charged with 1 count of first-degree and 10 counts of attempted.
He was there like nothing. Like he didn't care about what he did. Like he was just
Yeah,
there.
had no remorse, bro.
39-year-old Octaviano Romero had his first court hearing Monday. Molina says yesterday was a blur because this was the first time he saw the person who was accused of his daughter.
I was so mad.
Bro, I couldn't do that. If I go to court and I see that and they had no emotions, I would have been on YouTube, bro. A parent jumping the guard and just swinging, bro. I would have went to jail for a couple of days for doing that, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't have my child get unalived, and then the people that did it just did with no remorse type shit. I would have, you know what I'm saying?
But like I said, I gotta let the justice do their job.
In the back of the yards mass shooting
but I would have got
on
my
April
licks in.
13th, Chicago police say a family birthday gathering in the 2000 block of West 52nd Street was ambushed by attackers armed with an assault-style rifle and handguns. Investigators recovered roughly 75 shell casings scattered across the block after bursts of rapid fire tore through the crowd. 11 people were shot. The youngest victim, 9-year-old Ariana Molina, was struck in the head and died shortly after arriving at Comer Children's Hospital. 3 other children were wounded: an infant, about 1 year old, and an 8-year-old, both hit in the abdomen and initially listed in critical condition, and a 9-year-old grazed in the hand, along with 7 adults who sustained gunshot injuries of varying severity. Detectives later announced the arrest of Octaviano Romero and charged him with the first-degree demise in Ariana's demise and 10 counts of attempted deletion for the additional victims. According to police, Romero was identified as one of the shooters. The investigation has focused on the likelihood that multiple gunmen were involved.
The man is facing charges right now, accused of shooting and 2 teenage boys in a drive-by. That shooting happened last August near 48th and Winchester in the back of the yards neighborhood. Police say Adrian Sanchez shot the teens while they were standing outside a house.
In August 2024, a drive-by shooting in Chicago's back of the yards neighborhood claimed the lives of 2 teenagers, Carlos Galindo and Miguel Meza, both described by family members as hard-working students with no confirmed gang involvement. According to police, the attack unfolded on August 3rd, 2024, in the 4800 block of South Winchester Avenue, when a vehicle pulled up in front of a home where the boys were standing. Without warning, a gunman opened fire, striking both victims multiple times before fleeing northbound toward 47th Street. The investigation, led by the Chicago Police Department's Area 1 detectives, quickly identified Adrian Sanchez as the suspected shooter. Surveillance footage from nearby cameras captured a silver sedan matching the description of Sanchez's vehicle circling the block moments before the attack. Witnesses later confirmed
you killed
seeing
kids,
Sanchez
bro. My bad,
behind the wheel.
you're a coward, man.
Detectives also recovered shell casings at the scene that were linked through ballistics testing to a firearm used in a previous shooting tied to Sanchez's associates. Prosecutors with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office alleged that the shooting was gang-motivated, part of an ongoing feud between factions of the Latin Saints and a rival crew connected to the Satan Disciples.
Man, they don't even own nothing over there, bro. They don't even own the house,
the
bro.
victims' affiliations. Police sources suggested that Sanchez may have believed the teens were associated with rivals. Authorities called the case a senseless act of retaliation that claimed the lives of 2 innocent kids. Sanchez was arrested in
can't have
January
friends nowhere, bro. You can't talk to
2025
nobody,
following
man.
a warrant executed by the Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force. During his bond hearing at the Layton Criminal Courthouse, prosecutors detailed the forensic evidence and surveillance footage linking him
The
to the double
audacity, bro,
deletion.
wants to get bonds.
Judge Kelly McCarthy
Fuck.
ordered Sanchez held without bail, citing the brutality of the attack and the clear premeditation
Good job,
involved. Police said the shooting marked one of several high-profile attacks in back of the yards during the summer of 2024, involving assault-style weapons and retaliatory gang shootings, underscoring a resurgence of gang warfare in the neighborhood's southern corridor. In September 2013, one of Chicago's most shocking mass shootings unfolded in the back of the yards neighborhood when gunmen opened fire at a late-night basketball game at a park near 51st and Wood Street. The gunmen fired an assault-style rifle and handguns into a crowd of about 100 people, wounding 13 individuals, including a 3-year-old boy, Deonta Howard, who was struck in the face. The attack was later determined to be gang-related, a retaliation for an earlier shooting tied to the Black Pea Stones and Four Corner Hustlers gangs. Police quickly identified and arrested 4 suspects: Brian Champ, Tabari Young, Kewain Gatewood, and Brad Jeff. Investigators alleged that Champ and Young were the shooters, with Champ firing a handgun and Young using an AK-47 style rifle equipped with a high-capacity magazine. Gatewood was accused of supplying the rifle, while Jeff acted as a lookout during the ambush. Authorities described Champ as a documented gang member with prior gun convictions, who had recently served time in prison and was on parole at the time of the shooting. The shooters fired indiscriminately from a nearby alley and fled, leaving behind dozens of shell casings.
You know, boy was in prison like, man, they let me out, bro. I swear to God, if they let me out, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, do that. I'm gonna better myself, blah, 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 blah. And then he gets out in stupidity like this, bro.
Despite the number of victims, no one was deleted, and the wounded, including 2 teenagers and the toddler, survived after extensive surgeries. Following lengthy pre-trial proceedings, Brian Champ pleaded guilty in 2018 to multiple counts of attempted first-degree deletion and aggravated battery with a firearm. Lookout received an 8-year sentence for aiding and abetting the crime. The case became a focal point in Chicago's debate over gun access and gang violence, illustrating how military-style weapons had fueled mass shootings even in city neighborhoods with strict firearm ordinances. Superintendent Gary McCarthy and Mayor Rahm Emanuel publicly praised detectives for closing the case quickly, calling it an example of community cooperation and relentless police work. Deonta Howard, the child victim whose survival became a symbol of resilience, underwent multiple surgeries and later spoke publicly about his recovery. His family has since worked with local anti-violence groups to campaign against gang recruitment and to support stricter gun enforcement in Chicago. Victor Vasquez was charged with first-degree deletion in the back of the yard's demise of Albertano Medrano, who was shot while double-parked and waiting for his wife and a friend in the 4,500 block of South Hermitage. According to prosecutors,
Everything sounds stupid, man. The reasons behind all this shit is stupid, bro. They just get more stupider and stupider, man. My boy Jaywalk, oh yeah, they was seeing Jaywalk and rival thought it was a different gang member, so they shot at him. Fuck.
proffer, Vasquez was driving a stolen white van with an accomplice as they cruised the area looking for rivals. The passenger opened fire, striking Medrano in the neck, head, and back, and sending his vehicle crashing into parked cars. Officers recovered 10 spent casings on the block, and surveillance video. A short time later showed two suspects trying to stash something in a clothing donation bin near a gas station in the 5200 block of Southwestern. Police found an AK-47 in nearby bushes, with preliminary ballistics indicating a match to casings from the scene. Vasquez and his accomplice were arrested in an alley in the 5100 block of South Artesian. Vasquez admitted driving the van, and a judge set his bond at $1 million. In what police described as a violent and chaotic chain of events, a deadly shooting in Chicago's back of the yards neighborhood on a Monday evening left one man dead and two officers injured. Investigators say the incident began when four suspects later identified as Antonio Gonzalez, Isaac Corona, and 2 teenage boys aged 16 and 17 were riding in a stolen vehicle near the 5100 block of South Elizabeth Street. Around that time, gunfire erupted toward a 21-year-old man who was fatally struck. Witnesses reported seeing muzzle flashes from the moving vehicle as it sped away through residential streets. Responding officers quickly tracked the stolen car using automated license plate readers and pursued it as it fled the scene. The chase ended when the suspects crashed only minutes later. Corona and the 2 juveniles were captured at the crash site after a brief foot chase. Meanwhile, Gonzalez, who had fled the wreck, allegedly stole another vehicle in a desperate attempt to escape. When officers cornered him, he resisted violently, injuring 2 police officers during the struggle before being subdued and arrested. Authorities recovered multiple firearms believed to have been used in the shooting. Both Gonzalez and Corona were described by law enforcement sources as having prior gang affiliations tied to area factions operating in back of the yards, though police have not specified which group they belong to. The 21-year-old male victim, whose name has not been publicly released pending family notification, was pronounced dead at the scene. In the aftermath, Isaac Corona was charged with first-degree deletion, while Antonio Gonzalez faced multiple felonies, including attempted deletion, aggravated battery to a police officer, and unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle. The 17-year-old was charged with possession of a stolen vehicle and resisting arrest, and the 16-year-old with resisting and criminal trespass. The story of Back of the Yards is more than a chronicle of gang arrests. It's a portrait of survival. Each case, from the Almighty Saints versus Party People feud that took young Savannah Quintero, to the Latin Saints and 2-6 false flag shootings, to the mass attacks with assault rifles, reflects a community caught between resilience and grief. Law enforcement crackdowns like the arrests of Adrian Sanchez, Victor Vazquez, and Ernesto Godinez show progress, but they also reveal the cyclical nature of gang culture, retaliation feeding retaliation. Still, in the heart of these same streets, new stories are being written. Churches, schools, and youth programs have become sanctuaries of hope, where generations once lost to the streets now mentor those still at risk. Back of the Yards is not just the site of Chicago's most tragic gang conflicts. It's a living reminder that even in the city's hardest hit neighborhoods, community and determination endure. From its industrial birth to its modern fight for peace, Back of the Yards remains proof that Chicago's toughest neighborhoods also have the strongest hearts.
F that, bro. If they unalive children, they should get the death penalty, man. Mandatory. For real, like F that, bro. How you gonna unalive a child and then live the rest of your life in prison? Nah, you do that, you might as well get the gallows, bro. You're getting death penalty, man. Cause these little kids now, their life is gone. Their parents are gonna deal with this shit and over nonsense, stupidity, bro. Fighting and attacking people for something that they don't even own, bro. Just because they live in that area, they think they own the shit. Man, the landlord, hey, you know what? I'm telling y'all get evicted. What's gonna happen? They gonna unalive the landlord? Shit, man. That's one reason I don't like watching these, man, because it gets me all hyped up. Like, man, how could they do this shit, man? You know what I'm saying? It's just, the devil's out there. The demons are out here living life like it's nothing, taking advantage of all these kids with no remorse and just doing stupid shit, man. But there you go, man. Back of the Yards, stupidity at its finest. Hit the comments, subscribe to your boy's channel. We're gonna look at Little Village next after this one, so stay tuned. And I'm out, man. Don't forget, subscribe to your boy. Peace. Don't think about leaving without hitting the subscribe button.